probably already going to be posted like 2 or 3 times, and you're going to be all bored hearing.
You guys are just going to have to.
Just going to put this on
Different groups might hear slightly different things, but most of it's just the same boring talk that I give, because I remember what I say, I think. First I'm senile, so who knows. All right, anyways, let's get started. All right, in the face, some of you folks tend to make things too hard, so don't do that. There's a V that goes down, and there's one in the middle, and there's a V that goes up, and there's one in the middle. The V that goes up is usually damaged. So, you got the digastrics. That's the left digastric. Remember, the lefts and rights are by the cat. So, left digastric, right digastric. The mylohyoid, there's only one, so there's mylohyoids there. The sternohyoid is in the middle here, and that one also usually appears as one. And then there's the sternomastoids on either side. So left one, right one. And those are usually damaged, so don't worry about it. Just realize if I poke at something over here or poke at something over there and it's a muscle, then it's got to be sternomastoids. The big cheek should be exposed when you're done, so that big round thing, that's the masseter. This is the left masseter. Coming down into this area, what you should see is a line that is right here and here. Okay, that's the pectoanabrachialis. And then there's a line that is right here. That's the pectoralis major. The line that's right there. That's the pectoralis minor. And then this band right here is the psyche humoralis. Okay? On the side that's not as good, you of course then will cut to the deeper muscles, so you'll get your fingers up there, cut through those things I just talked about, flip it back, and what you should see, the scalenes will be up towards the cut. The big chunk of muscle down here is the subscapularis, and then right here, see how this kind of looks like a fan? See that fan shape? That's the serratus, serratus ventralis. Now this is a cat. So the cats walk on all fours, so their thing is facing down towards their belly, so hence ventralis. You learned on the human anterior, and that was because it faces towards the front. So don't get confused. This is serratus ventralis when you're doing the cat. In the arm, you've got one muscle here that you didn't learn on the human, because I don't think we have one or anything that's like it. And that's the epitrochlearis. That's right here. You just connect it at the elbow. So then you'll lift that up, pull it back. And what that ends up exposing is the biceps brachii right here. The triceps brachii medial head is this middle part. And that's actually a little bit thicker than it usually is. Usually it's really skinny on this side. And then the triceps brachii down here, long head. Okay? You also will have a muscle right here on the elbow. There's one muscle on the elbow on this side, one muscle on the elbow on this side. So make sure you know whether you're looking at the front of the arm or the back of the arm. On the front of the arm, what you have is the pronator teres. And so the pronator teres goes up and ends up pulling it. So it's this one right in here. But anything in front of the elbow that's in this main part of the arm, that's the only one you have to know. So don't sit there and say, oh, I can't figure it out. If it's pointed inside here, even if you don't think it is, it's the only one it can be. Okay? You also have the brachioradialis, which is usually a little thin muscle that comes from just above the elbow and goes off down the length of the arm. A little skinny muscle right there, so that's that one. So that's brachioradialis. Moving down here to the stomach. Alright? You should have it so that you can kind of see 2 lines going right here. Those are the rectus abdominis. This is the left, this is the right. You'll usually see the exterior oblique. You see a line, you can disconnect that, pull it back. Exterior oblique is thin. But as it dries up, you can kind of see that the fibers are going this way. And so that gives you a clue that the layer you're looking at must be exterior oblique if it's still there. If you guys got carried away, you may end up be missing that. Going down a little bit further, you will usually see that there's a separation, see here, between the dark and then it gets light. Okay? That's the break right here for the internal obliques, which are right there. And between the rectus abdominis, which ends right there, and the internal obliques, all this is transversus abdominis. And so in one little area I kind of pulled off some of the connective tissue so that you could see the fibers are again moving this way. So like the external obliques. The internal obliques are more like this. Okay? Moving down to the leg. The sartorius is up here, the gracilis is down here, so it's not like the human that has that band and then the other one's just kind of off to the side. They're the main covers. So the sartorius covers up the top, the gracilis covers up the bottom. You disconnect those at the knee again, so you can flip this back on either side. On the top, if you've done it right, you should end up with 3 layers. So you've got this layer right here, this middle layer, and this upper layer. The one in the middle is the rectus femoris. Okay, so that's the middle one. The rectus femoris is in the middle, so then what you have is the vastus medialis and vastus lateralis to identify. The medialis is medial, the lateralis is lateral. So this one is the medialis, this is the vastus medialis, this is the vastus lateralis. So find the rectus, and then the other two shouldn't be that hard. Underneath the gracilis, there will be a little skinny one that's right up in here, which sometimes is really hard to find. That skinny one. And there we go. A little skinny one down here, that's the pectineus. Okay, so the pectineus is the first really tiny one that's right inside here underneath the blood vessels. Then you've got a bigger one that I kind of ripped a little bit on this one, but that's the adductor longus. Then you've got, goes from here to here. That's the adductor femoris. And this is semimembranosus. And then coming off the back should be the semitendinosus. So semimembranosus is the big piece. Semitendinosus is the small one. Okay? That takes care of those guys. Now we go to the foreleg. Should end up with 3 layers. One here, and one there. That's the gastrocnemius. This is the right side. This is all right. So right gastrocnemius. The medium one that pulls on the foot. This one, the medial side is the flexor. The lateral side is going to be the extensor. So this is the flexor digitorum longus. And this is the tibia. So if that's the tibia, you shouldn't be surprised that this is the tibialis anterior, because it's anterior to the tibia. Okay? So those are the muscles on the front. Flip it over to the back.
Yes.
All right. Unlike the humans, the cat has their trapezius and their deltoid divided into 3 pieces. So they have a clavoid, acromio, and a spino of both of those. Clavo will be the top one, acromio will be in the middle, spino will be on the bottom. So make sure that if you keep that in mind, it's not that hard. So the clavotrapezius is up in the neck, so that'll be the right side, that'll be the left side. It doesn't matter that you can't see where it is. Just realize if it's on the right side of the neck, it's the right one. If it's on the left side of the neck, it's the left. Then this rounded one right here, that one is going to be the acromiotrapezius. The spinal trapezius is shaped like a triangle down here. So that's the right of all these, right spinal trapezius. Over here is the deltoid, right above the shoulder, so look for the underarm. There'll be the blue line. The blue line is what you need to separate out so that way you can get the connective tissue off. If you take the connective tissue off, then the clavodeltoid is at the top, and you can see I'm lifting it up right now. Then the acromial-deltoid is this layer that's underneath, and then the spinodeltoid is what you see right here. That leaves one more on this upper back, and that's this one that's right here. Goes from here to here to here to here. And that's the levator scapulae ventralis. And the levator scapulae ventralis, the fibers go this way. And it's the only one. All the other fibers are mainly up and down. So this is the one that goes between the neck, diagonally towards the elbow. So that one is a little bit harder to find at first. As it dries out, again, it stands out a little bit more. And so that one you can learn. It's not as hard. Then get down here to the arm. This is the triceps brachii long head again. This is the triceps brachii lateral head. And the lateral head you disconnect at the elbow, lift it back. What you see here is the brachialis. Triceps brachii medial head is in the middle. See how nice and thick that is? Easy to see, easy to put a pin in. And then, again, the long head down there. On this side, you've got one in the elbow, and the one in the elbow is the anconeus. Again, remember, pronator teres on the front of the elbow, anconeus on the back of the elbow. And if you keep that in mind, you'll be fine, because all the other ones are big ones in the arm, because you don't have to learn these little guys. Following down, this is latissimus dorsi that goes along this length. Then you get down here. I decided to do it on the right-hand side. There's the gluteus medius, even though it looks more maximus than medius, but it's there. Then the gluteus maximus, and then the caudofemoralis is the skinnier one. That's the third one in the set. The biceps femoris is here. Let's see, there we go. And move the sartorius out of the way to a certain extent, because it's not the sartorius you want. This muscle right here, this little teeny one, see it's only this short. So it's a little piece here and a little piece there. Those guys are connected to all this fascia, this white tissue. That's the tensor fascia lati. Okay? So if you've removed all this white stuff, you may just have these little pieces of muscles all by themselves. And so then you're kind of left on its own. Going down here, the semitendinosus now becomes the obvious one. Semimembranosus is the little piece that's over in the corner. This is the gastrocnemius again, but the gastrocnemius on the outside and the lateral part of the leg, you should be able to separate off so you can see the soleus underneath. Okay, so gastrocnemius on top, soleus next. Then this middle one here should have 3 layers. See, there's one here, and one here. The one that's the lowest one, the closest to the soleus, that one's going to be the fibularis muscles or the peroneus muscles. I think you guys are learning fibularis because it's by the fibula. The middle one is the extensor digitorum longus, and then the front one is the tibialis anterior, just like it was when it was on this side. And I think that is everybody.
Oh, that's it?
I know, right? Disappointing.
Oh.
All right.
I'll put that on.
Can I come back when I